Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a little video showing a project I've been working on recently. As many of you know, I really enjoy thinking in systems, and I've been thinking about building a modular shelving and storage system for a while, something that could grow and evolve as my needs change, whether for at home or here at the studio, sort of having a predefined system that where everything kind of is interchangeable and can work with previously made components. This first iteration that I'm going to share is a unit that I made for this little nook in my living room. So I kind of used that as the prototype. And yeah, let's get into it. I started by looking for other options out there. This is by no means a novel idea or concept, so I figured other people might have come up with some pretty cool designs for this. I found some really well-designed products, but every single one of them had something that I didn't like. So I guess this confirmed that I should move forward in designing my own. Obviously, a very famous one is USM Modular. Everyone's probably familiar with these. But what stood out to me here that I wasn't really aware of is that they have like a lighting component where where their frames integrate a lighting feature. This is a modular system that's based on a frame, and then they make panels that you fill in the frames with. One that I've been obsessing over recently is this one called X System by Mario Tsai. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's this aluminum extrusions with these cast corner pieces, and it's also a frame-based modular system with corner connectors, but it's absolutely beautiful and I really love it. Another one that I found is Tilco. It seems like they were based in France, and I was really surprised by the amount of customization that was available. But most of the customization was just in sort of like layouts, and I was really impressed by the granularity and sort of like the width, so you can really make something fit your space in a very custom way. So this was impressive, but I'm also interested in adding drawers and doors and potentially lighting and some other features, and this didn't really feel like that was easily possible as designed. Another one that everyone probably knows about is String Furniture. Their system, it's based on like the vertical standards with components and shelving that sort of like connects and interfaces with that. But I felt like I wanted something more floor, like freestanding on the floor versus mounted to a wall. Another notable one is this stack shelving system. It's really beautiful and really well executed. It's these sort of bent aluminum pieces that sit on the shelves, and while I really like this one, I felt like I also wanted to add drawers and doors and things like that, and this felt difficult to do that with. One pretty basic one is called Brick Box, and it's essentially just wooden boxes with handles that you can stack onto each other. They do have like a little foot that indexes on the previous one, and they have doors, and they have large sizes and half sizes, so there was a pretty good versatile system here, but I felt like they lacked a certain level of refinement aesthetically. That also is likely due to the fact that they come flat packed and that they need to be easily assemblable by the end users. But this was probably the closest thing that I felt excited by. And another one was Simple Wood Goods that has these record storage modules and these like sort of like wider modules. So I think this is where the system where I was heading. I didn't really like this gap in between the modules, but yeah, and it has the doors, which I really like too. So yeah, after kind of looking at all this, I set off and started designing. So in terms of the design, it's pretty minimal. It's boxes made from 12mm birch plywood. I wanted the system to be easily reconfigurable so the boxes can index and stack onto each other to ensure perfect alignment. To achieve this alignment, I made a jig for my woodpecker's drill guide to drill holes at a repeatable distance from the corners on each module. On the bottom of each module, there are little rubber feet that can serve as feet when the modules are placed on the ground, or as the protrusions that align into the receiving holes on the tops of the other modules. For this unit, I made a base plate to receive the bottom modules and included a base that would raise it to my desired standing height, since I plan on putting my turntable on it. I also made a top piece that spans the entire width of the unit. For the top piece, I finished that with Forbo furniture linoleum. I really liked the way it looks and feels, and it was super easy to apply, so I would most likely do that again. For two of the modules, I designed some aluminum flap doors that can slide up, and for the knobs, I used some rocks that I found on the beach. I drilled into them with a diamond-coated bit and glued in some M3 threaded rod, which I attached through the back with a nut holding it through the other side. One of the modules I designed as a double width with drawers. For these, I used the Bloom undermount drawer slides since I had heard so much about them, but I had never used them before. These slides feel really good, and I would say they are worth the money for drawers that you plan on using a lot, but probably not worth it if it's a drawer that is for long-term storage. I finished everything with Rubio 5% white. I like how it gives it a finished feel without yellowing the wood. Overall, I'm really happy with how this turned out. There are some small things that I would do differently process-wise, such as finishing the interior before gluing up the boxes. I think I'd make the modules 1 centimeter deeper just for saving material. If you've been thinking about something similar, or have ideas on how to expand the system, or have find other cool modular shelving systems online, I'd love to see or hear them, so please feel free to share. So now it's time to move on to other projects. Upgrading the dust collection and separation system in the workshop is my next priority. I'm so grateful for all the makers sharing their workflows on YouTube and the internet. It's been a great resource, and I know I haven't been too focused on documenting my process so far, but I'm interested in starting to do that more, so more to come.